Welcome into the official start of Season 7 of the Ram Report. Today, we have an announcement from the National Honor Society, and there is a new Activities Director at Harriton. That's all right now, live from the TV studio in Harriton High School in Rosemont, Pennsylvania. This is the Ram Report. Hello, I'm Julie Wright,
along with Ella Goodbinder,
for today's Ram Report. We begin today's show with a message from the National Honor Society about a food drive that's kicking off today. With more on that, we turn to National Honor Society President Simone Donahoe.
In other news, there's a new face at Harriton which you may have already seen. Mr. Albert has replaced the recently retired Mr. Ferguson as the Athletics and Activities Director for Harriton. As the Athletics and Activities Director, Mr. Albert coordinates clubs and sports and manages them to make sure they all operate well. We turn to Rachel Harmon with that interview.
Yeah, so we're just going to ask a few questions, things that we think y'all might want to hear. So, first off, we want to know, what are some ideals that you plan to incorporate into your new role?
Really just want to incorporate even more student participation in our clubs and our student athletics. Really just build on the student pride and participation and working together for the common good of Harriton High School.
Then, did you do clubs or sports in high school?
Athletics and student activities were a huge part of my upbringing as a student. And so I played football, I wrestled, I was a student council president. I've been involved in community government associations in college. It's always been my goal when I got into this profession to make sure that we're providing the same for students that I was provided as a kid.
So do you think you could speak a little bit more on maybe the attributes that you got from doing clubs and sports?
Being able to set goals for myself or set goals for our team and learn a hard work ethic of trying to achieve those goals.
And I do have to know, have you visited the pool on the 4th floor?
I have not. I didn't know we had a pool, but I will tell you that the 4th floor pool has visited me in my office. We've had several leaks in my short stay here at Harriton.
And then finally, one last thing is, what would you say your top priority is as an administrator? Again,
I'll go back to the fact that getting as much student participation as possible. You know, I know that here at Harriton there's a lot of interest in starting clubs, there's a lot of interest obviously in sports, but I'd like to see us all work together so that we can put the best programs together for our kids and represent Harriton High School as the very best.
Well, thank you, Mr. Albert, and back to the Ram Report.
Our thanks to Rachel for that interview and Ella Goodbinder for editing. Lastly, we here at HHS TV are sad to report on multiple cases of vandalism that have occurred here at Harriton. Several bathrooms have been vandalized through the destruction of school property. We remind everyone watching that destruction of property is very serious and thus could carry serious consequences. A quote from our Student Council President, Eli Feldman. "It's really something that you don't want to see because I truly believe we can have a great year at Harriton, and that starts with respecting the really nice school we have. Let's just let this be a minor hiccup to the start of an amazing year."
All right, so what did you specifically do to help with the chicken coop?
Well, the chicken coop itself was actually a class project. I have an advanced engineering class, and in that class, students can propose projects. And so I came to them and proposed to them the idea of researching and designing and building a habitat